안녕하세요, 여러분. 저는 소라입니다.
And I'm Ed, and you're listening to the
Vamos a Jeju podcast. 안녕하세요, 여러분. Welcome to our podcast, Vamos a Jeju. So today we're going to talk about car rental in Jeju. Do we have to rent a car or not? Or is it enough with the bus, public transportation? But before we start, we have a story that Ed murdered a rent-a-car in Japan. So maybe we can start with his criminal history in Japan.
guilty as charged. I did indeed kill a car in Japan a few years ago. And what happened was I did the most dumb thing possible with cars is that I put diesel into my car, which was a gasoline powered car. And so like 2 minutes after driving out of the gas station in northern Japan, the car just went like, I give up, and died. So that was not smart of me. And back then, it was a very small town, so that no one spoke English. And then I was trying to figure out what kind of different gasoline there was. And when I used Google Translate, it said vehicle oil, vehicle oil, vehicle oil. It was all the same translation. Thankfully, I was stupid enough to put diesel into a gasoline car, I was smart enough to buy a lot of insurance, so I didn't pay anything beyond $500, which is the price for also killing a car. Ever since then, I've learned to be very, very careful about what kind of fuel I'm putting into a car, and I always have car insurance.
Right. So
You look very disappointed in me, Sora. I'm sad.
Yeah, because I thought you're very, very smart. And it's like, anyway, no, I'm joking. I think before we start, we can point out the color of the fuel because it's the same in Korea and Japan. So usually we put green color for diesel and we put yellow color for gasoline. So you don't get confused like someone who made a mistake.
Be nice. I think it's helpful to share with folks that you have green for diesel in Korea, and then you have yellow for gasoline, and that's the same colors for both Jeju and the mainland, correct?
Yes, right.
Okay, so let's dive into today's topic about car rentals. So I don't know, have you ever rented a car in Korea since you have your own car?
Yeah, we do. Yes, we do. Sometimes,
Wow.
잠깐만. Sometimes we rent a car when we travel, in the mainland. For my husband, Jaden, he liked to try new toy. We rent a car for a day and then try to drive around the islands and then just return it.
That sounds exactly like Jaden. It's like, let me check out this new toy.
Yeah. Just one day.
Okay.
It's not too expensive, so yeah.
So what's the difference in experience between a Korean renting a car and a visitor renting a car?
First of all, you need the international driver license.
Okay.
Because for Korea, we just need our Korean driver license, and it's kind of easy to rent a car. And for visitors, you just need the international driver license.
I think the other difference is that not all car rental companies will rent to visitors.
Oh, so some.
Right. So I remember Jaden used to work at a company called Soka, and they started a line of business to cater for the international market. And then they discontinued it. So I think with Soka, only Koreans can rent from them.
Yes, right now, yes.
Yeah, so I guess if you're going to visit Korea and you want to rent a car, double check that it actually will rent to foreigners. And typically the telltale sign is whether the website has an English. English.
Right.
If it's just all pure Korean, it's probably a hint that they only rent to Koreans.
So then before we talk about detail, I think we need to talk about to whom do we recommend car rental or just use public transportation?
Okay. And so I'm thinking I'm not the best person to talk to because if you ask me, I'll be like, take the bus.
There's an answer for Ed.
Bus
Always
is best.
Is the best answer.
But so maybe you should drive. Get it? Drive. You should drive this part of the conversation.
For me, I recommend car rental if you want more flexibility. I mean, I like to travel without plan. If you're this kind of person, it's better rent a car because to take a bus or public transportation, you really need to plan beforehand. But with the car rental, you can just go anywhere you want. And then, yeah, there's no limit.
Okay. I was making a
Yeah.
funny face when you were saying that because like I don't really have a plan either.
Yeah.
But I guess the difference is I'm a slow traveler. So like for me, a short trip in a single place is like 3 to 4 weeks. And so I
Mhm.
guess I should recognize that some people only have like not 3 to 4 weeks, but maybe 3 to 4 days.
Mhm.
So they have less of a luxury to, slowly take the bus to Songsan Yuchubong and then slowly
Mhm.
take the bus to Sokwipo. And like they may not have that kind of
Yeah.
time. So maybe,
Right.
yeah, I guess I see where you're coming from. I think a car rental will make more sense. If you have like 3, 4, 5 days and you want to maximize your time on Jeju, then yeah, a car rental makes sense. Plus, as we mentioned in the previous episode, you would then be able to like, in a car, you could like move very freely with your luggage in the car and then just
Mhm.
hop
Right.
from place to place in the short time and do a full tour of a full loop of Jeju and then be back
Mhm.
in the airport in like 3 to 4 days later. And so with a bus, that's
Mhm.
a more troublesome, but with a car, it's more feasible. I think
Right.
another category of travelers where car rentals makes more sense is if they want to go to like the off the beaten path kind of places, like harvesting tangerines or going to some green tea
Mhm.
fields.
Mhm.
Those places are a bit further away, and even the Sunset Coastal Road.
With the
That is
dolphin,
also not
right?
the Sinchang Windmill Coastal Road.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's hard to get to, so a car will be great for that. And then, in fact, the entire western coast of Jeju is where cars are going to be very useful.
Yeah, so if you want to go like less touristy place, it's hard to go there by bus. So then, yeah, we recommend car rental. Yes.
Right. So how about we flip it around to say like what type of travelers should not bother with car rentals?
If you are a novice driver,
Yeah, because somebody doesn't like to drive it at night. So maybe you should talk about why novice drivers should think twice before renting a car in Jeju.
because at night, main road, of course, we have a light, but in a mid mountain road, there's no light at night. And also, there's lots of like hairpin turns in Jeju. So if you're a novice driver, maybe not.
People who only plan to stay in Jeju City should not
Mm.
bother with a car.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
If you're just there for like 2 days, all the places you want to go to are very well covered by buses. Plus, it may be challenging to find parking in some parts of Jeju City.
mm-hmm,
About many buses have their own lanes, so it's actually faster to be in a bus than in a taxi or a
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
car. So maybe if you're planning to stay only in Jeju City, renting a car might not be the best idea. So let's say our listeners have gone through that mental checklist of whether or not they need a car, and they decided, yes, I need my own set of wheels in Jeju. So they reserved it, and now they have arrived in Jeju Airport. What next?
So when you arrive the airport, you come out from the arrival hall and you will see the sign like bus, taxi, and rent a car. So you follow the line for rent a car and you will be arriving in a bus stop. And from the bus stop, it's a bus stop specialized for a rent a car company. So you can wait your bus from the rent a car, take the bus, and then you go to the office. So there
Right.
you're gonna do all the process for rental, and then they will give you the car, and then you can just enjoy. And when you come back, you also come back to the same place, return the
Mm-hmm.
car, and then again take the shuttle bus from there back to airport.
If you are listening to this and you're looking to rent a car in Jeju, you can go to Lotte Rent a Car as well as SK Rent a Car. I rented from Lotte Rent a Car, and yeah, it was a very good experience. I remember the price being very reasonable. We rented it for 7 days, and
Mhm.
unlimited miles, and I was especially surprised that the price included two things. The first was collision damage waiver as well as roadside assistance. So like if I have a flat tire or you run out of gas along the road, they'll come out and take care of that for you. And yeah, so normally from my experience renting cars from like all my travels, usually collision damage waiver is an extra fee that I pay. And so they're picking it up from the airport. And I guess once they're in the car, my experience has been that because Korean is not my first language or even my second language or even my third language, I have a hard time reading the Korean when I'm driving. You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm reading Korean, I have to stare at it and go very
to
slowly.
focus.
And so if I'm driving, if I keep staring at it, then I'll have an accident. I'll need the insurance. I think one thing that I found very helpful was to ask the people at the rental car company to change the default language to English.
But was
Especially
the staff speaks English there?
Yeah. The staff at Lotte rental car, they spoke some English, but it doesn't take much. Like I asked in Korean, so that was okay. But even if you don't speak Korean, it's just say like English, changey. I'm sure they understand.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure
That's
they would.
enough. More than enough. Yes.
Yeah. Actually, the truth is, I think most Koreans under 50 years old, they understand English. They may not speak English, but they all understand English to different, under 50. I mean, older people, maybe not, but everyone understands English.
Right. Yeah, but it's easier when you just use the vocabulary. Don't use like grammar.
Verbs.
Do not try make sentence. Just use word by word, then they would understand.
So English, please. Changey. Okay.
Yes, that's perfect. That's perfect.
I'm not sure how it is in every car system, but in case the default language of the car and the navigation is different, make sure to check for that as well. And so you told me once that if you're in some of the bigger, like in Jeju City, if you went to get gasoline, the self-service, the self-pu, actually is a bit cheaper by a few won, like by a little bit.
Yes, the self gas station is a little cheaper than the normal one, where someone serve you to get the gas. And also, as Ed told me, if you feel a little intimidated, maybe you can also use self gas station because you don't have to talk to anyone. You just need to use the kiosk. Just click. And I think also they have English in that kiosk, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, especially near the city. But if you do self-food, don't be like me and kill the car.
Again.
Okay, no. Not again. Never again. Never. So you've got your gas now and you're driving around. Obviously, you need to stop the car at some point. So parking across the whole island, except for Seogwipo City and for Jeju City, I want to say it's almost always free parking.
Yeah, it's always free.
That's been my experience. Right. And so the exceptions are going to be the two cities. And my experience with the one time I rent the car from Lotte Rental Car is that the paid parking is actually automatically calculated by the in-vehicle transponder. The machine, yeah. So like I don't actually pay. I pay to Lotte Rental Car when I return the car.
Huh? Yeah?
Huh? Yeah.
Where? Really?
Yeah.
How come?
진짜.
How come? I mean, where did you park?
I parked in Seogwipo City near the Mail Ole Sichang.
진짜?
Mail Sichang. Okay, some of them you have to pay with the machine, but then and there's a few like there's nowhere to pay. I was like, oh, okay. Then the guy said, oh, yeah, it's already posted.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh. Then later when I returned the car, there was like a line item in my there was an item in my Lotte for like, oh, the price for
진짜? I didn't know that. Oh, 진짜? Anyway, usually paid parking is automatic, but you have to pay before you get out. When you get in, they will take photo of your plate number, and then when you go out, you have to pay before going out from the kiosk. You just put your plate number, and then pay by card. And then you can just go out. Or you can pay when you go out, right?
I found it very helpful to just take a photo of my license plate and favorite it for the whole time when I'm renting the car. So one more thing that really annoyed me about Jeju driving, not about Jeju, but Jeju driving, is that on the coastal roads, there are so many speed traps. Like, I think you need to slow down to a very slow, I think
30
30
kilometer per,
kilometers per
yeah, 30
hour.
kilometers.
It's so slow. That's like about 20 something miles per hour. It's like so slow. You can run faster than that. It's like, and
No
it's fine
way,
if it's
you
just one
cannot
or
run
two.
faster.
Okay, fine.
Yeah,
Usain Bolt can run faster than that. But it's like,
I think so.
there's so many of them. Why are there so many speed traps on the coastal roads? Sorry.
Because the 30 kilometer per hour, that's full for children's, because we have so many elementary school around the coastal road. So like near the elementary school, you have to slow down until 30 kilometer per hour. That's why. And also we have protecting
For old people.
for old people. For that place, it should be, you should slow down until 50 kilometer per hour.
So what? So you have to go slower for children, but faster for old people. It's like, are old people supposed to be faster than children? Like, what's happening here? Like
I
old
don't
people
know
can
why,
dodge
but
faster.
that's the law. I don't know why, but that's the
Okay, and it's only at coastal road. I remember the drive like in and around Sokupo cities, especially bad. I mean, especially a lot of speed traps. But I guess it would be the same in Jeju City, right?
right near the school or like the village.
So the speed traps are annoying, but I guess what's even worse is that if you exceed 30 kilometers per hour, then you get a ticket, right?
Yes. So you need to pay 12만 원, which is around like 90 US dollar.
Right.
So do not do not exceed the speed, because if you get like several of it, it's gonna be like more than your rental car fee. It's a lot.
Right. And Shipiman one, it will be 120,000 won.
네, 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 네.
I was
맞아요.
confused for a
Right.
while. Yeah. So, and then I think that gets built to your rental car company, right?
Yeah. And then
And
they
then that,
will charge from your credit card.
right. So just because like you return the car and you've gone back to your home country, you're like, woohoo, I escaped the ticket. No, 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 no. They're gonna get you. They're gonna
They
get you.
will.
And you will totally be able to rack up more than one fine like if you keep going at 40 kilometers per hour over these speed traps in one drive, like you can get like 5, 6, 7 tickets, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah. It's not like you get one and then you're done. It's like it's not one and done. It's like one and again and again and again. So
No.
it's gonna be pretty expensive.
Again, yes.
So that is one of the downsides of renting a car. That's a pretty detailed overview of whether or not people need to rent a car in Jeju. We talked about what are the considerations for renting a car and whether or not it's just better to just do public transportation. And then we talk about picking up the car, getting the car set up for English or your native language before you drive out of the rental car facility. We talk about how to get gas, about parking, driving conditions, and of course the infamous speed traps. I think one more thing I want to add for people who are driving in Jeju is to not underestimate how long it takes to go from one place to another. If you are coming from, let's say, Europe or Canada or America, you look at the distance, it's like, oh, it's just 60 miles, like 100 kilometers. That's not bad. I can do that in like 1.5 hours. Just understand that it takes a bit longer than that because in the middle of the island is Halasan. And so there's no straight road. Number two, there's no freeways. There's no expressways. There's no Autobahn in Germany. There's no interstate system in America. It's all local roads. So there'll always be traffic lights or road circles and, of course, speed traps and road bumps. So most time you're going to be driving around no more than 50 to 60 kilometers per hour. And then if you're in the coastal roads, you're dropping down to 30 kilometers for the speed traps. So it's going to take you much longer than you think. So when you're planning your trip, I guess buffer some extra time. now here's the part of the show where Sora is going to help us learn some handy Korean. And of course, as always, we call it Handy Korean with Sora Sam.
Wow.
So, Sora, what are we going to share with our friends today?
So today we're going to talk about what you have to say in the gas station. So as we mentioned, there's two different kind of gas station. One is self, so you can just do with the kiosk, and the other one is with the people who work there. And then usually what we call them is 사장님. 사장님. Maybe you have heard of this. It actually means literally it's owner of the place, but we just call this to anyone who works there. I mean, to respect them. So we just call them like 사장님, 사장님. And then someone will come to your car and then you just tell them, you can tell them like 가득, 가득, meaning full. You can also say full. Actually, they will understand full. And we have learned 주세요 before, so you can just say 가득 주세요. Or you can say like the amount of money, like 50,000, like 5만 원 주세요. And one more vocabulary for you is 카드, and 카드, literally card, and 현금, meaning cash. So you can actually pay by 카드 or 현금, cash. But sometimes people are confused with two words like 카드 and then 카드, which I just mentioned, the full. It sounds similar, but it has like different pronunciation. So 카드, like the car, and then 카드, full.
So those are very handy phrases to be able to use when you rent a car in Jeju or Korea and when you want to be able to top up on your gas. And I guess if you would like to learn all these phrases, just go ahead and check out our show notes. And if this episode has got you thinking, maybe I really should be renting a car in Jeju. Well, we have put together a 14-part email series that is catered for the DIY traveler in Jeju.
So to get that email sent straight to your inbox, sign up at vamosajeju.com/start. And for the latest update, follow us on Vamos a Jeju on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And finally, the best way for a new podcast like us to grow is organically. So if you found this episode helpful, please share with your friends and family. And who knows, maybe we will Vamos a Jeju together.
And with that, all that's left for us to say is 안녕.
안녕.
Get all our latest articles, videos, and resources on Jeju DIY travel culture and history at vamosajeju.com. That's VAMOSAJEJU.com. If you would like to get updates about Jeju or even Korea sent straight to your email, sign up for our dispatches at vamosajeju.com/update. And finally, the best way for a new podcast like this to grow is organically. So if you found this episode helpful, please share us with a friend. And who knows, maybe you'll Vamos a Jeju together this year. The Vamos or Jeju podcast is part of the Passport Optional Network.